Hey guys, what's up? It is Dan Lags, and welcome back to episode number 2 of Let's Build a Battle Mode Arena. So guys, last episode was the very first episode of the series, where of course we're back for episode 2. I feel like I've been starting so many new series lately that I'm saying episode 1 and 2 like so much, but we're back for episode 2. And at the end of the first episode, we had the cornucopia figured out in terms of like the chest and like the layout of it. And I've done actually quite a bit of work off camera since the first episode. But it's all been recorded though, so if you want to watch any of the progress that I've made, and basically the progress that I have made is just kind of continuing that wall design that I started at the end of last episode, and then I filled in, I kind of just like created this icy lake pretty much. So if you want to watch any of that progress, there's a couple links in the description to my live stream highlight videos, where, well, they're not highlight videos, but they're just like the recordings of my live stream. And I worked on pretty much everything you see here on video during my stream, so just let that be known. And basically what we have is like this big icy lake, right? Okay, so it's there's all water under here. Like, it's a deep lake too. It's like 5-6 blocks deep. It's just completely frozen over on the top because of this biome. So that's kind of like the theme we're going with, and it should be pretty cool. So obviously you spawn here. These are like the spawn points for the arena. You go get your chest in the middle. You can go off this way and jump over these logs that are frozen in the ice, I guess. These would be, I guess, like jumping logs if there wasn't any, if there was actually still water there, but they're all frozen in the ice, so they're just kind of there for aesthetics at this point, I guess. But that is a thing that goes over here, and then we have just like a whole big space over here where we're going to be adding some stuff. This will just be all land. So, I mean, that's pretty much the progress that I've made for the arena. I think it's pretty cool. I do like how the spawn area is on like the lake part of it. I wasn't originally planning on doing that, but that ended up how it worked out. So I'm totally okay with that. I'm really happy with the arena so far. I'm really happy with the walls. If there's anything I could change to the walls, maybe add a little bit more grass, a little bit more stone to it, so it's not completely frozen over. And I might do that a little bit on this side. I kind of have like the layout for the walls already started a little bit, but won't really be working on that too much on these episodes. I'm going to work on the actual like parts of the arena. So today what I'm going to do is build an ice cave, okay? So you might look at that and think, is that your ice cave? No, that is not the ice cave. That's just like something that's there. I'm going to have like the ice cave in this little peninsula here in the corner. And there's going to be like a little escape out into the ice. So I think it should be pretty fun. So let's just build that right now, and I'm going to get started on it. So thank you guys for tuning in to the second episode, and thank you guys, of course, for the support in the first episode. I'm very excited to build this this series. I think it's going to be a ton of fun to create something like this, because I think it's something that, you know, I can be very creative with and make something that's very unique. So anyway, what I want to do right now is start off with kind of like a perimeter for this cave. So let's do like 5 blocks opening, and like I said, I'm just going to create what I hope is going to be like just like a nice perimeter for this cave. You know, I don't know exactly how this is going to work. Something along those lines, and then everything inside of here will be the cave. And then I would also like to obviously make it kind of like a circular shape, I guess. So we'll just see what happens. Again, this is kind of all just testing right now. You know, I don't even know if this is going to work the way I'd hoped, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Gonna make this a little bit more slim on this side, but just think about the cave from the 5th Star Wars movie, or I guess the 2nd Star Wars movie, depending on how you look at it. But where Luke Skywalker gets carried away by the big ice monster thing, the big snow monster. So just think of it like that kind of cave, and that's kind of what I'm going for, just like a little frozen cave in the side of the hill. But I'm gonna start off with a base layer of ice, and that's pretty much what I've been doing for most of the builds. I think I have realized that it's very easy to add detail to things if you start off with like simplicity. So that's like why I've been basically just kind of filling in these walls and then adding detail to them afterwards, and that's really helped with the shaping of it. So I'll be doing the same thing with this ice cave. So it'll start off with kind of just like a base layer. It'll probably just look like a big igloo, or like a big ugly igloo, that's for sure, because I do plan on building an igloo at some point on this battle mode arena. So we're just gonna have to get to that later on. But as far as the battle mode arena's name, I wanted to talk about that a little bit while I'm filling in this casing. But the name of the arena, I'm thinking about naming it Frost. I was talking about this on my stream when I was, you know, building the walls and stuff with my stream viewers, and Frost, I think, is a good name because it's a one-letter word, you know, simple, not very long, and that's kind of relates to the theme of all the battle mode maps, all their names and stuff like Cove and you know, stuff like that. So lair, etc., etc. But anyway, we got this like first little casing started here, so let's just kind of continue this, and I'm going to again kind of just like curve it upwards, I guess, a little bit, and it'll end up like making a lot more sense once it's all kind of closed off once we add the detail to it. So it'll definitely look ugly at first, but I'm sure that it will end up being something that's going to be pretty cool. So no need to worry about that, but I'm going to kind of take that across the top there. I'll make some icicles that are kind of hanging down over the entrance to the cave, but I mean, I guess we can build some sort of like monster or something like that in here. I'm not really sure if we'll do that or not. I really don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I was also thinking about building like a mammoth carcass. That's kind of hard to say. A mammoth carcass somewhere around this area. That would be kind of cool. Similar to what you see on Lair, which is one of the battle mode maps, like this big monster thing that's kind of dead. So we can do something like that as well, which could be pretty cool. So lots of options, lots of ideas to go around. We already have the frozen waterfall built over there, which I'll discuss probably later on once we're done with this. But there's just so many things I want to add to this arena, and we have plenty of space, so we can definitely add a lot of those things that I'm thinking of. So again, I'm very hyped about this series. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to build this. I really do, especially with the theme. I do really like the snowy theme. This was something that like was really holding me back from starting the series earlier. I just want to think of a good theme. Snowy, frozen tundra theme is just perfect for this series. So that's what we're going to be doing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and just kind of get this finished off here. I'm going to, I guess, take like a level of 2. I don't know. There's really nothing too set in stone or set in ice with this part of the build. Just really me just kind of closing off and creating myself a casing so I can start to detail it. That's really about it, honestly. So it's not going to be too complicated. It's going to be more snow than ice, I think, when it's all said and done. So it might have been smarter for me to build this out of a casing of snow instead of packed ice. But I don't think it's really going to matter a whole lot. So we'll just have to wait and see. But let's take this up another layer here. And I'll just keep going until this is completely closed off. And then we'll kind of see what happens next. But it's definitely gonna be something interesting for sure. And my goal really for this series is to make it maybe like 10 parts, hopefully. Obviously nothing's finalized here on episode 1, but hopefully something around 10 parts. I would like to build like some sort of major theme structure every episode. So this episode will be Ice Cave. Next episode I think I'm gonna do some like snowy trees. Do like a log cabin episode, make some ice spikes, kind of like you'd see in a standard ice spike biome, something like that. So lots of that kind of stuff will be, I guess, mixed in, so that will be pretty cool. And one thing I actually should probably consider expanding right now, actually, is the ice walls, right? So this is kind of like where the ice wall is going to be put in, and for reference, this is kind of how I've been doing this. I've been kind of taking the wall across, kind of like making it flat first, and then coming in and adding the detail to it. I've noticed this is a pretty good way to do this, so that's kind of been something I've been practicing throughout the early stages of this. And again, I did all of the ice wall forming and all the building of this on my stream. So if you have any free time, and you want to watch that for like inspiration or just whatever, you can do that because it's all available. So anyway, let's kind of just get this filled in. And I think I mentioned this briefly in the first episode. There's literally nothing to this in terms of, method. It's kind of just follow the patterns. There really aren't any patterns though, so it's hard for me to kind of explain, my thought process behind this. It's really just kind of just placing blocks. I mean, it's just kind of in a random pattern, random order. Nothing really to it. And that's like really all I can say about it, right? So anyway, I'll take this up a little bit more. Kind of have this wrap around this way a little bit. I don't want to do all this right now, but it'll help with the kind of shaping of the cave if we do a little bit of it right now. Just kind of like that. So that's pretty much exactly what I want, and then I mix in the snow and et cetera, at a later point. So let's get another layer of this ice brought over the top of this. And I think this will be the last layer to kind of close off this cave. We'll take a step back and see what it's looking like, and then we can fill in the detail to it. So it's going to be a big ice cave. I think it'll be a lot of fun, something really cool to build. So, and I'll obviously be putting chests in here and stuff like that. I think this is another thing that I mentioned. I don't want to repeat myself completely, but I'll add the chest at the end. The chest will be added at the end of the series, probably the last episode, because that's kind of like not as important as the actual build. I mean, it's obviously important, but I'm building this more for like the actual game, or for the actual like build more than the game. So there's our ice cave as like a start. Obviously, it doesn't really look like a cave right now, but that's just the skeleton of it. Okay, now we're going to come in and add the detail to it. So this is the part that's going to be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and start with this. I'm going to kind of get this taken into the side of the lake a little bit here, so just a tad. But what I'm going to do basically is just coat this with snow almost. Not completely, but most of the blocks I think I'm going to either swap out with snow or cover with snow. That's going to be something we're going to be doing all over the place, so we'll just kind of do that. But yeah, that's really the theme for this, right? It's snow and ice. That's the theme for the entire build. I was saying this, I think it's going to be pretty much snow and ice are going to be the two main blocks for this build. Obviously, I'll mix in some spruce wood later on, once we, I guess, start working on like the log cabin and maybe even like a shipwreck or something like that. Just some other ideas that I have, but as of right now, it's pretty much just snow and ice, especially the walls. That's a lot of snow and ice, and that's just something that comes with the nature of the build, right? It's all about the theme, and the theme is snow, and the theme is ice. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of just continue this, and pretty much just kind of mixing in snow blocks everywhere, right? There's no spot here that's safe from the snow. Everywhere can be covered, everywhere can be replaced. It's all really up to me, honestly, so I'm gonna kind of mix them in right here as well. And that should be pretty good, like that. So let me take a step back here and just take a look, see what's coming together. So pretty good so far. I would like to make it a little bit more snowy on this area, so let's do that. Probably mix these blocks, switch those out for some snow, and the interior should pretty much take care of itself once we get the outside figured out. So I mean, obviously we'll make tweaks to it, but should overall be fine on the interior. So let's make more of the flat parts on the top of the cave snowy. I think that's pretty important. Obviously, snow has been building up. We don't want ice here on the top. Ice is more suitable for the side, I think. So we'll definitely kind of take that into consideration here when filling in this top part. So I'm probably going to add like even just like a big layer of snow up here, honestly. So lots of snow, lots of ice. I think you guys probably see that by now. But yeah, I mean, this series I think is a lot about inspiration, right? I'd love to see other people do something like this, build an arena, right? It's pretty cool. It's something that you can really do anything with, right? You can stretch the limits of the game. You can really just do whatever you want with it, right? Any theme, any size. Well, maybe not any size if you want to keep it consistent with like 4J Studios battle mode. But if you're doing like MCSG themed, you can do whatever size you want. And you know, my friend Kyle was kind of like one of the first people on Xbox to build Hunger Games maps, and he used to do stuff like this all the time. He used to have Hunger Games maps that we used to play on, so that's kind of something as well that you can do. Alright, so that's looking pretty good so far. A good mix of ice and snow. So now let's work on the entrance here. This part needs some work, I think. I don't want it. It looks a little bit too symmetrical as of right now. So I'm going to try to really get a good mix of snow in here. Good mix of snow around the perimeter here. I might even add some stone at this point. I think that would be probably a good option, but it doesn't even have to be like one layer. It can come inside here and kind of add another layer to this if I need to, so I'll do that. Okay, let's take this across like that. Let's see how that looks from the outside. Kind of as the entrance to the cave. Looking pretty good. kind of that'll be like the cave entrance right there. How is it looking? Pretty good, pretty good. One thing I have to consider is that this is going to come across like right here, and this is going to be the ice wall, kind of the border of the ice wall, so I can keep that in mind. And I can also probably start to potentially curve this a little bit. That way it's not kind of as circular. Would like to kind of curve it into the mountain a little bit better. And then even over here as well, like I can kind of mesh this into the corner here so it doesn't look like it's been added afterwards. It kind of looks like it was built along like with it, so kind of get this theme wrapped around. We can cover up that corner there, that's totally okay. Mix this some snow in here as well, but like stuff like that, right? Just kind of slowly mix it right into the wall. Okay, so far that is like pretty much what I'm looking for right now. This is good. We got the ice cave. Let's go ahead and take a look on the inside of it, actually see what's up. Alright, so we have a pretty large space in here. Like, this is a really good amount of space. I'm not sure what this lighting defect is. Okay, anyway. So we have, again, we have a good amount of space. Why? Oh my god, I just struggle getting out of there. But good amount of space on the inside. I would like to make it, like, dark in there, ideally. And then, of course, we're going to have, like, the snow kind of matched up in here. And pretty much the theme for the ground that I've been doing throughout this entire theme of this build is a theme of like kind of just packed snow, really. This like the whole idea I'm going for. And just to give you guys an example, this is something that I did over here. This is pretty good, I think. I think this is like exactly what I wanted. I'm pretty sure I put string on the missing grass blocks or the opening grass blocks, or I did that over here, I think. Let's see if I can find an example of this. Don't know. Oh yeah, here we go. You can see the string just barely. String is almost completely invisible in the default, which is awesome. So I can really utilize it to, you know, put it where I don't want snow to grow. Because once I start making it snow on the world, because I will be making it snow. Like that's like the whole point of this. When you're playing the game, it's supposed to be snowing. So it'll definitely help with the theme of the build. And I showed it a little bit last episode. I'll show you guys again once we get towards the end of this episode. Kind of like the whole snowy theme, but right now I'm just kind of mixing in the snow pads or the snow stacks, whatever you want to call them, into the game right now. Just kind of mixing it all over the place. You just kind of stack it in just like random quantities, right, throughout the entire snow blocks. Fortunately, you can't place them on anything, or you can't place them on ice, I should say, which I don't understand fully, but I guess I don't know. But it's something that I have to just keep that in mind. I can't really place it on the ice, but that's fine, because as long as I can place it on the snow, it's totally okay. All right, so let's get it filled. And I think some of the interior of the cave I'll have with some stone. It's not going to be completely frozen on the inside, so keep that in mind. Let's do something like that. All right, how is this looking from the front? Definitely got to add some more snow right here. This is definitely a spot I'm noticing is a little bit too icy. Needs to be a little bit more snowy. Okay, so we'll do that, and we'll add the snow blocks on top. Looking good. All right, let's back up here for a second. So this is good. This is like what I'm hoping for so far. We're making good progress on this. All right, so we got that. Let's add another block there. And as far as the inside, again, I don't need it to be like this full size here, so I can, you know, do some stone walls in here, kind of mix this in. I'll mix in some snow as well, but all of this is kind of just random placement, which is why I'm like hesitant to do it right now. But that's going to be a lot of this build, honestly, just like random block placement and just detailing, really. So it'll be kind of like stone walls, and then I'll mix in some snow. I'll mix in some ice, but it doesn't need to be all frozen on the inside. It's obviously going to be warmer in here than it is going to be out there. I think that's pretty obvious, so keep that in mind. Alright, so that'll be kind of like the theme for the walls, something like that. And then what I want to do, kind of just to wrap this up, is to make like kind of like an escape, okay? So here's what I want to do with this. I want to kind of open up some ice right here. And I want to create, actually maybe not this much, maybe just like a small amount here in this corner. I want to create a escape for this. So What I'm going to do is actually dig this out down in here and then make like a little tunnel and get inside of the cave. I want to create like a little frozen water escape. And hopefully this will work out without freezing completely. But my goal is to have a kind of just like a little pond there in the corner. And you could, in theory, during the game, if you were like stuck in here, you could swim out. That's like the whole point of this. And you could swim out to right here. So let's go ahead and just put this in. But first, I'm going to grab some packed ice and some snow and some stone. I'm just going to start to mix these blocks here. So we'll do some snow here on the edge. And we'll take the packed ice down, kind of continue that. Do some more packed ice right here. Mix in some more snow. Obviously, having snow underwater doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'm not really going for realism, more as I'm going for like a theme. Okay. So mix in some of these other blocks. Kind of get these swapped out like that. And I'll even mix in some ice on the floor in here. But yeah, hopefully this will just be a nice solid little like tunnel pathway thing that you could potentially escape from. And this is something that, this was like one of the first ideas that I had, so hoping this works. Alright, so we'll start off with the first level of water, and this is going to freeze over. I have to remember that. So I have to kind of go a little quicker than normal. Get that second level filled in. Take that up on the corner. Again, I don't know why this lighting defect is happening. That's worrisome, but and we'll do the third level here. Gotta get that filled in. All right, level 3. This is the last level. There we go. This is weird, man. Freaking Xbox lighting defects. They never cease to amaze. I guess I'll just put a torch in here for a second so I don't have to deal with this, or a glowstone, so that doesn't happen for a little bit. But that's what I'm looking for right there in that corner. Now what I basically have to do is just prevent this from freezing over is pretty much what I need to do. And I don't know if it's going to freeze over or not. I really don't. We're just going to have to wait and see. Obviously, you know, you jump down in here, you swim, and then you get out right here. Crap, don't want that to be frozen. And we need to get another level of water in here. There we go. And that's kind of how it's going to be. Just like a little area of water in the corner that's open, that won't freeze over. What I'm going to do actually is get some sea lanterns, and I've been using these kind of to prevent ice from growing, and it obviously hasn't been very effective. Like I have like a couple little spots like on the floor where there's sea lanterns. Hopefully that will work right there to make it so you can still pass through here, but I might have to make some changes potentially later. But that's like what I want to do. I just wanted to make it so it's not a dead end, right? You go inside the cave, there's a chest in here. You know, if someone follows you in here, you're screwed. So this is your escape route. Down through here, kind of wrap around, and then boom, you're right up next to the ice lake. So that's kind of like the whole theme of this. I think that's pretty good. So next thing I'm going to do is actually just make the ice part over here. I think I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller, and I'm also going to use like regular ice to kind of just gloss this over just a tad, just so it's not as obvious that you could swim through there. Obviously you guys watching will be the people that would potentially play this, so you would know, but you know, I'm just saying in theory. But that's something that I want to do, something like that. That'll work out nice. The rest of the cave perimeter will probably be something like this. I don't want it to be like a massive cave, so it'll probably just be probably that. Actually, that's probably fine how it is. So basically, like that'll be the perimeter of the cave. Over here, I can leave that space empty in here, and that'll be like kind of how this works. But I'll continue filling in the rest of the interior of the cave, you know, at a later point. But as far as just creating the cave, creating the concept for the cave, and what I was hoping for, this is exactly what I was hoping for. So of course we'll add more detail around it. I'm probably going to add like a tall not palm tree, that would be completely out of place. A tall like spruce tree here, like kind of on this corner, and then I'm going to add maybe a few more over here. Start to add some ice spike biomes around it. well, like the ice spikes from the ice spike biomes. So I think it'll be a pretty cool theme. Log cabin over here. We got a lot more stuff to work on, and just to keep in mind, guys, I will be doing the walls kind of in between episodes. So like every episode, you'll see a little bit more progress on these walls, as you know, I can just work on these on my own time, and they're pretty self-explanatory. So those are the kind of things that I'll be working on off camera, but just kind of letting you guys know about that. But that's gonna be it for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's been Dangeles. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. We're making some nice little progress here on this biome. We're already only 2 episodes in, but I have a lot of progress done already. So just want to keep on rolling with this. So next episode, I'm probably going to work on possibly building some sort of log cabin design. Not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that yet, so I'll think of some ideas in between episodes, and then we'll regroup and we'll get started on that building. So again, guys, thanks for watching. Thank you guys for the support in the first episode. Hope to see the similar levels of support here on episode 2. So give this video a like rating if you did enjoy it, guys, and I'll talk to you guys on episode 3. Peace out.